The nominations have been announced for the 94th Academy Awards, and I wanted to make some videos predicting what I think is going to win in most of the categories. In my last video, I predicted what's going to win in production design and cinematography. In this 7th of 10 prediction videos, I'm going to talk about what I think is going to win Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Original Screenplay. Here we go. First up is Adapted Screenplay. The nominees are Cyan Hader for Coda, Ryosuke Hamaguchi and Takamasa A for Drive My Car, John Spates and Denis Villeneuve and Eric Roth for Dune, Maggie Gyllenhaal for The Lost Daughter, and Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. Here is the question about adapted screenplay. Does anyone beat Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog? She is clearly the frontrunner in this category. Her film got 12 Oscar nominations. It's likely to win Picture and Director. So if your movie is that close to winning in the top two categories, it's almost unheard of to lose the screenplay category you're in. I feel like Power of the Dog does not have a lock on picture yet, but it pretty much has a lock on director, and it received the most nominations with 12 as a movie. I feel like with 12 nominations, that shows a great love from the Academy, and I feel like if there's one category it's pretty likely to win, it would be in adapted screenplay. I think Coda is a terrific film. I don't know if we think of the screenplay to Coda when we look to a place to award it something. Drive My Car, an unexpected and fantastic nomination here, but I think that's all it will be, a nomination. Dune, I was very happy to see that get in here, and that's a very tricky book to adapt. I feel like if enough people have read the book and understand how hard it would have been for these three men to adapt Dune into a feature film, I feel like that will get some votes for sure. But I feel like right now, the only threat to Campion would be Maggie Gyllenhaal for The Lost Daughter. The Lost Daughter didn't get into director or picture, but it did get into actress and supporting actress. And I'm not feeling that it's going to win anything at this moment. I don't think it's winning actress, even though Olivia Colman certainly has a shot. It's a very tricky category to predict, which we'll be talking about in a couple videos down the road here. It's not winning supporting actress. That's not going to happen. As of this recording, Maggie Gyllenhaal just won the Scripter Award for her screenplay to The Lost Daughter. So she's certainly in the running. I would put her in second place. I could see that being just like a wild shocker win. If there's enough love for The Lost Daughter, that movie I thought was terrific, and I would like to see it win something at the Oscars. This could be the category. I just don't know how you predict anything but The Power of the Dog to win adapted screenplay when it has those 12 nominations and is likely to win director and picture. It just would seem a pretty weird category to predict something else. And as much as I like to sometimes go with an alternate take in a category, to go with a no guts, no glory prediction, I'm not going to do that in adapted screenplay. My prediction for the winner of adapted screenplay is Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. Next up is original screenplay. The nominees are Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Adam McKay and David Sirota for Don't Look Up, Zach Baylin for King Richard, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, and Eskel Voigt and Joaquin Trier for The Worst Person in the World. Adapted screenplay is pretty easy to predict. Outside of a shocker upset, that one's going to Jane Campion. Original screenplay, I would argue, is one of the most difficult to predict of any category this year because of just two titles. Two screenwriters who have a very good chance in winning. And the trick is going to be predicting which one it is. I don't think the other three films have a shot. Don't Look Up is not going to win in this category. I think, and I've said this before, I think Don't Look Up even though it got into picture. I think Don't Look Up is going home empty-handed, although I did like the film and I had some admiration for the movie. Because it didn't show up in director or any of the acting categories, it's not necessarily a movie that you think of in the technical categories much either. I think the only category Don't Look Up has a slight chance in is film editing. The editing in that movie is a standout, and I know a lot of people responded to it, so it could win in film editing. Outside of that, I don't think it's winning. It's definitely not going to win in original screenplay. That would be a pretty big shocker. I guess it adds a slight chance, but I would be very surprised. King Richard. Is King Richard going to win in anything but potentially Best Actor for Will Smith? I don't think it's going to win in screenplay. Could win Best Original Song. We talked about that a few videos back. It could win in song. I don't see it happening for original screenplay. The other film that's not going to win is The Worst Person in the World, although I loved its inclusion in this category. That was one of the biggest shocks on Oscar nominations morning. A great nomination in this category. Was fantastic to see The Worst Person in the World get into original screenplay. It's just another way for people to become aware of the film and to check it out. So I was really happy to see that. But I feel like original screenplay comes down to two figures. And this is where it gets really, really hard. It comes down to Kenneth Branagh for Belfast and Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Neither Kenneth Branagh nor Paul Thomas Anderson has ever won an Academy Award, and these two people have been nominated time and time and time again. Kenneth Branagh has received Oscar nominations in 7 different categories. That is an all-time record. He's never won before. He's been nominated for films going all the way back to the 1980s. He's been nominated in actor and director and supporting actor and picture, and it's just never happened. And Belfast is a beloved film. Belfast, I would say, has the best shots in some ways of beating Power of the Dog for picture. If Belfast pulls off a Best Picture win, it has to win in one other category. The other category it could win is original screenplay. In some ways, I feel like there's a slight, very, very slight edge to Branagh for Belfast in this category over Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. But Paul Thomas Anderson is one of our greatest filmmakers right now. Everything he does is so fantastic. I have loved his career from the beginning, going all the way back to his first Oscar nomination for original screenplay of Boogie Nights. He was nominated for that back in 1998. He was nominated for his screenplay of Magnolia. He didn't get nominated for Punch Drunk Love, although I think he should have. I love that movie. He got director screenplay nominations for There Will Be Blood. He was nominated for Inherent Vice. He was nominated for Phantom Thread. This guy is overdue. Kenneth Branagh is also overdue. But when I think about the screenplay category, what's the more dazzling screenplay? On the dialogue level, on the storytelling level, what will people respond to more? The Belfast script or the Licorice Pizza script? Again, I feel like the smart choice might be Branagh here. I feel like enough Academy members, older Academy members, might be ready to award Branagh something. If they're going to vote Power of the Dog for picture, they might want to say, you know what? We're giving Power of the Dog picture, director, adapted screenplay. Let's give Branagh something. He made a terrific film in Belfast. There's going to be a lot of love for Belfast. Is Belfast going to go home empty-handed? It got 7 nominations. Is it not going to win anything? I feel like they might think, well, let's give it original screenplay. Then Belfast goes home an Academy Award winner. Branagh finally wins. I could see that happening in some ways slightly more than Paul Thomas Anderson finally winning. But Paul Thomas Anderson also got into the directing category. He got in for picture. If Paul Thomas Anderson had missed in director, I would absolutely vote for Branagh. Here's the thing. I adore Paul Thomas Anderson so much. I have been waiting for years for him to finally win an Academy Award. Like every year it doesn't happen. I'm like, oh, okay, next time. The next film. Like, it's got to happen. The man has 11 Oscar nominations. He's never won in the last 25 years for so many great films. Licorice Pizza is number 1 on many critics' top 10 lists. You know, this amazing movie. He got nominated in Screenplay, Director, Picture. I just feel like this might be his time. I feel like there's going to be enough love for Licorice Pizza. I feel like it'll be close. And if Branagh's name is read, I will not be surprised. But here's the thing. Here's why I'm going to predict Anderson. If I predict Branagh and they announce the winner for original screenplay as Paul Thomas Anderson, I am going to lose my you-know-what. Like, I'm gonna just be like, I would rather predict Anderson and be wrong and have them say the name Kenneth Branagh rather than me predict Kenneth Branagh, who I think might have a slight edge, and then hear Paul Thomas Anderson's name read as the winner. That would really depress me in some ways. Even though I'd be very thrilled for him to win, of course, I'd be mad at myself for not just predicting it. So this is a rare category where I'm okay. I'm okay if I predict this wrong, because I really do think in my gut, in my heart, it's time. It's time, Academy. We recognize Paul Thomas Anderson, not just for Licorice Pizza, but for his extraordinary body of work. So, my prediction for the winner of original screenplay is Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you think is going to win in adapted screenplay and original screenplay. Do you agree with my picks? Do you think I have it all wrong? We'll find out on March 27th. Join me in my next video when I predict what's going to win in Best Supporting Actress and Best Supporting Actor. See you then.